starting at $1,339.99 and with our test configuration coming in at $1,499.99, the Dell G16 is in a middle ground between budget gaming laptops and mainstream gaming rigs. It shows a few cost-cutting traits, such as an aluminum lid but a plastic palm rest and bottom, one-at-a-time keyboard backlight colors instead of multiple zones or per-key RGB lighting, and Wi-Fi 6 instead of 6E. But though it doesn't join our short list of favorite gaming notebooks, the Dell G16 puts up ample performance for the price and deserves consideration from value-conscious shoppers. Dell's $1,339.99 base model of the G16, model number 7620, combines an Intel Core i7-12700H processor, 6 performance cores, 8 efficient cores, 20 threads, 16 GB of memory, a 512 GB NVMe solid-state drive, and a 16-inch, 560 by 600-pixel display with 165 Hz refresh rate backed by NVIDIA's 4GB GeForce RTX 3050 Ti GPU. For $160 more, our test unit is identical except for 6GB GeForce RTX 3060 graphics and a USB-C/Thunderbolt 4 port not found on RTX 3050 Ti models. Heat seekers can opt for a Core i9-12900H CPU and NVIDIA RTX 3070 Ti, as well as hiking RAM capacity and SSD space to 32 GB and 1 TB, respectively. Dell's website promises a low-profile Cherry MX keyboard as a future option. Clad in what Dell calls obsidian black, the G16 is thicker and slightly heavier than other 16-inch gaming notebooks, 1.06 by 14.1 by 10.7 inches and 5.6 pounds, not counting its hefty AC adapter. The Lenovo Legion 5 Pro Gen 7 is 0.78 by 14.2 by 10.3 inches and 5.49 pounds. Meanwhile, the HP Victus 16 is 0.93 by 14.6 by 10.2 inches and 5.44 pounds. Dell's screen bezels are medium-thin, and the screen flexes a lot if you grasp its corners. Like many gaming laptops, the G16 has neither a fingerprint reader nor a face recognition webcam, so there's no way to avoid typing passwords with Windows Hello. Top-row keys, like Escape and Delete, are puny. They include 5 macro keys and a game shift key, F9, that activates an ultra-loud cooling fan mode that may gain you a couple of extra frames per second. We used it for our benchmark tests accepting the battery life rundown. Dell's bottom-mounted speakers pump out fairly loud and enjoyable audio. The sound isn't tinny or harsh at high volumes, though it's two-dimensional. I can't make out overlapping tracks audible on other laptops, and hardly any bass is audible. The 720p webcam is a letdown. Images aren't too dark but are blurry and blotchy with considerable noise and static. This laptop's one-zone backlit keyboard has a somewhat hollow and heavy, but not uncomfortable, typing feel. Dedicated home and N keys are thankfully included here, but page up and page down require teaming the FN key with the up and down cursor arrows. Oddly, most top-row keys, such as the screen brightness controls, work fine while the game shift and keyboard backlight toggles occasionally go on strike, ignoring presses until I reboot and try again. Dell's buttonless touchpad is rather small and has a stiff, heavy click. You can change backlight colors or rotations as well as program macros with the provided Alienware Command Center software. The utility shows CPU and GPU temperature and lets you assign thermal and performance modes to various titles in your game library, but I find it unintuitive and awkward to use. As has grown popular, the display features a slightly taller 16:10 rather than 16:9 aspect ratio. It's not particularly bright and its colors aren't vivid, though they're reasonably rich, and contrast is decently deep. Viewing angles are broad and fine details are reasonably sharp, though the edges of letters look pixelated if you zoom in on text. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos.